Well, hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us today at Birdeye View. Thanks for joining today's session, Growing Your Agency with Birdeye. We are super excited that you've all joined us. Before we jump in, just a little housekeeping. There are some user engagement tools on the right-hand side. I believe it's the right-hand side of your screen. We've got a lot of people joining today. We've got lots of experts also ready to field some questions for you. Any comments or questions you have, please take advantage of the engagement tools on the right side of your screen. We'd love to have a lot of engagement. We want this to be valuable for everybody who attends today. So please interact. We've got people standing by ready to address any questions or concerns, and hopefully we can address them during today's presentation. While you're getting yourself familiar with the engagement tools, would love to talk a little bit about who we have with us today. We're super happy to have JD Dammier with us. I know I just ruined that name again, Dammier with us. Sorry, JD. Good to see you again. So JD is the CEO for BIZINGA. BIZINGA is a kind of large-scale digital agency. He's the CEO. He runs it all: strategy, operations, kind of innovation, growth for the business. And under his leadership, he's become a massive omni-channel partner, really focused on inbox solutions, empowering businesses to improve their overall communication processes, increase customer satisfaction, which is what it's all about. If you're going to be an agency, you've got to deliver value. JD and I had a chance to meet recently, and I know 100% JD is super passionate about making sure that not just himself, but his whole staff is making sure they're delivering value to their partners and continually to drive new value for their partners and clients. So thanks for being with us today, JD.
I'll tell you what, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So, BIZINGA is one of, over 750 unique agency partners that work with us. And I really appreciate you being here because we're actually asking you to come in and tell some people that maybe you compete with how to grow their businesses in the agency world. And, we talked a little bit about this the other day, but I love a comment you said, and I won't steal it for later, but, they're not really competing with each other. So we'll just leave that as a cliffhanger right there. But obviously here at Birdeye, we try to provide really valuable solutions to agency partners so that you can resell them to add value to your portfolio and what you do for clients. So really, JD, I'd love to have you just kind of kick it off right here and get your background. Can you kind of get us started with your experience with Birdeye, your overall experience and experience with Birdeye that you've had with us?
Yeah, so I think it was like 2014, 2015, kind of in that ballpark. We made a transition to Birdeye. We were using a different platform. This is way back in this, just reviews, just online reputation. And it was really something that was kind of innovative at the time, to text customers for reviews and maybe email them. And that was kind of getting taken off. And we had switched over to Birdeye, just simply stated, that probably grew our agency the first time, right? We grew it the first time because of maybe the enterprise level software. And it enabled us to actually just, it was a better platform. It was a more stable platform, but it also enabled us to be a lot better with maybe multi-location type businesses, right? And it was a phenomenal platform. I'm pretty excited, right? When we first came over, I remember who moved my cheese. I know it's here. I got to go find it, but whatever. And it's really, really good. And I'm really excited about what's happened in the past 2 years. So I'll just go from the Birdeye time, right? So we come to Birdeye, it's great. We grow our business, we grow our agency, we're growing, we're just growing reputation. And honestly, it's crazy as it sounds, that's all we did. That's all we did as an agency was reputation. And as some new products and features have come out, we've really grabbed hold of those and found a place for the really fit for our clients and how we can help them. It's sometimes easier is better. So from the inbox to the to social media to whatever it might be, listings is big, right? So that's probably the precedence of today, but yes, that's kind of where we started with Birdeye and where we are.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the background. So there's something on the slide here. We joked about this before. I wasn't familiar with CPaaS and UPaaS. Definitely familiar with SaaS. What are those acronyms?
What are those acronyms?
Yeah, what does that represent?
So CPaaS is it's a platform that provides developers with APIs, SDKs, things like that, to quickly adapt into a SaaS model. UPaaS is more of a unified communication type things to put into that model. So when you think about Birdeye and you think about the inbox, a unified inbox, right? We use that term a lot, unified communication channels, and which I think a lot of people miss. They think, oh, it's just an inbox. Well, it brings a lot of channels into one place. So, I mean, that's what that is. So, it's well beyond SaaS. It's how you make SaaS work.
Yep, love that. I appreciate that. And I think that unified platform is really interesting and central to what we are. I didn't know the term, but that's kind of what we do. I didn't realize that here at Birdeye. And I really love, obviously, you joining us today. And obviously, we've had a very long history, like you said, of online reputation management. But I think when you look at how you're using us, it's on the bottom there. It's not just reviews for your reputation, but listings, messaging, web chat, surveys, referrals, insights, and benchmarking. There's a lot of different tools, right, that you can help your end clients with in terms of how they manage their business. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you work with your business. Would you mind kind of talking a little bit about your sales process, how you grow your business? I'm sure lots of people on the call today or in the web meeting today would love to learn more about what you're doing.
Absolutely. So I'll make it real short and sweet. We started, we probably tried everything, right? Way back in the day, we probably tried the, 14-day trial, the 30-day trial, the whatever. And honestly, the biggest takeaway was it didn't work. And there's a reason it didn't work. And it was because people just didn't want to learn a new platform. They didn't want to it was just, if I got 30 days to worry about it, I'll wait for 30 days. And then that time will run out and things, whatever. So what we did is we kind of moved into what I call a 5-day proof of concept. And I've said it on these things before. Just give me your last 30 days of customers. I mean, I'll keep it real short and sweet, but there's a lot more details inside of it. But, give me your last 30 days of customers. I want to see if this works for you. We would run that. We would get them a bunch of reviews. It would be good. And, a couple of things happened. Number one, I knew they'd be a good customer for us because they actually had a client list. And number two, we were able to perform and show them some value before we ever asked them for anything. So, and it was huge. It really turned our business around.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it. It's kind of here on the slide, but this end of door strategy, what you learn about customers in that first 5-day pilot, what you call it there, like that allows you to really make sure your teams are focused.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to say, we don't do a full setup on a 5-day proof of concept, but we learn how engaged they're going to be. We learn how serious they're going to be. We're going to learn if they have a CRM. We're going to learn a lot, and then we really have a plan moving forward. It's never about price. I've had people ask me, hey, well, how much is it after 5 days? And I usually tell them, I don't know. I just told you it's free for 5 days. We'll worry about that when we get there, right? I don't even know if this is going to work for you. So, don't worry about that because that's just hey, I'm trying to get out the door, try not to do that. And I think once you can overcome the emotion with the customer of, hey, look, it works. They're like, it works really well, right? They get really excited. So there's a lot of other things involved in it. I mean, I think the 30-day ask for the 30-day list is important because when you go back to close it, one of the questions you're going to get is, okay, that was good for 5 days. What should I expect moving forward? You gave me 30 days of names. I don't see why it would change, right? So that's what you should expect. So you can kind of put things back in perspective and kind of go from there. But what you learn about the customer is their level of engagement, what they can do. And, we've all been there. I think you and I talked about it. We can touch on it now, but, there's people you can help. You know it, man. You could go to Google and you go, man, they're just terrible at reviews. They're just terrible, but they're not ready, right? They're just not ready. So sometimes a 5-day proof of concept works. It's like, hey, I'll just show you. Let's see if this fits your business.
Yeah.
So,
and I love that when we talked about it the other day, you almost look at it, it's almost a two-way 5-day proof of concept. Not only is it going to work for you, but are you actually going to engage with us? Like, I don't want to chase people. Like you just said, if you're not ready and they think we got this great opportunity, but we're chasing somebody who's just not really ready to work with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love that. I love that concept. I think that's huge. Knowing who to spend your time on, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that you can help with your business. So yeah, I appreciate that. I think it's a very good advice. So let's go on to the next. Like we have a lot of agencies and agency owners on this session today. That's anybody who wants to grow their agency is here to hear from you. So I guess if you think about advice, like what are the areas that you think of? What advice would you give an owner of an agency to help them grow their business?
I would say, look at all the different products that are out there right now, right? I mean, that's the first and foremost is if you've already got some clients, if you've already got one client, that's an opportunity, most likely, find the products that would fit that business. Whether it's web chat, you can really work some Robin stuff. I think Robin's been added to some other channels, all this good stuff. So Facebook, Google, all this stuff's getting tied into it. So now we're talking about an inbox, and it's a little bit different, man. I mean, really we used to set up reviews and it was out of sight, out of mind. We ran the platform. And it's a little bit different today because we really need people to engage in it, obviously to use the inbox and some of these other tools. So, but again, there's a sales, we'll talk about sales in that in a second, but I want to make sure I hit all these points. Yeah. So, I mean, when you're asking customers what they want to improve and things like that, but I don't really ask customers what they want to improve. I tell them what they need to improve. I'm probably a little bit different than most people because it drives me nuts, right? If you go to their social media, for example, and we'll just use that as an example, and you go and look at it, and it's trash, right? It's trash. Let's just call it what it is. It's trash. You just go and say, well, why don't you post on social media? And they don't believe in it, right? So it's the same thing as reviews, but we just talked about. They don't believe in that. And it's so powerful. Or you go to their Google My Business profile and they don't even have services, or they don't have chat turned on, or they don't have this. And you're just like, okay. So what happens is then you say, hey, I got this great inbox, right? I got this inbox. You got Google, you got Facebook, you got direct texting, you got web chat. It's all coming into one place. We're going to make this very simple, and it's going to make you more efficient. The first thing you're going to hear is as a potential business owner or whoever decision maker will tell you, well, we don't have time for all those calls. We don't have time for that. And like, well, then you should just unplug your phone too, right? And it's like you have to understand their mindset. It's kind of back in the SEO days where you get this wild, crazy idea that there's going to be a bazillion people going to your website, not unless you pay for it. I mean, there's the right people are going to come to your website, right? So the right people are going to call you. The right people want to talk to you on Facebook. The right people it's not a flood of phone calls and digital communication. Right. It is very simply the people that want to talk to you on the channel that they choose to talk to you on. And you're not allowing it right now. So you're a bad business. And that's a tough conversation. I love
that. It almost, JD, it almost feels like, I'm going to get a lawn care person over that. Like I expect them to tell me what kind of grass or sod we should have and tell me how often I should water the lawn or the plants. I don't know. That's what they do. And, we're working with them as clients, asking them what they want. They're not digital marketing experts. They don't even know how to answer those questions sometimes, right? They want more business. That's right. And that's what they want.
Yep. And then, you just have to refine that sales process every time, right? And then you got to walk away and say, hey, what did I communicate good? What did I communicate bad? It's okay. Nobody's perfect. This is an ever-changing game. And it's not about what was good and bad. It's just, how can I better say that? And I use analogies all the time. We are an analogy freaks over here at BIZINGA. We talk about the engine, the car, the gas, and you're like, what the heck are you talking about? And we're talking about digital marketing. We're talking about this platform. And so lots of analogies, try to put it in their terms if you can. Yeah. And like the lawn cutting guy, man, cutting grass is like this or whatever, just tie it all in.
So, you mentioned here in the first bullet, I think ties a little bit to the third bullet about, utilizing all the products and continue selling. And I think selling into your base. And I asked you this the other day. I loved your answer of like, how do you know which products to present to a client? How do you know which ones to give at what time? So I'd love to hear a little bit more about how you think about upselling or cross-selling to your existing base.
How did I answer that?
When's the right time to tie your shoe?
Yeah. That's right. So how do you know, right? So how do you know when it's the right time to tie your shoe? Because it's untied. Just look, right? Go to their Google My Business page. Go to those things. If chat's not turned on, they're not very good at allowing customers to communicate with them via Google. It's a bad deal. Not a smart choice. And I tell people that all the time. That's not a smart choice. They don't even know it exists. They didn't know. They don't have no idea. So Yeah. Just look, open the eyes.
Yep. And how do you work with, you said the easiest sales here come from current customers. How do you continue to engage customers efficiently?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine a lot of people on this call would be a lot like me back, and maybe even like me a little bit today, where we don't really talk to our customers very often, right? Because if you think about it, reviews can be out of sight, out of mind. It's kind of automated once they're bought in and it's going. It's just kind of in the background. I mean, but you have such an opportunity to share an amazing message with them and an amazing additional pieces to the platform that I think I just reach out to them and say, hey, I just got to talk to you. I got something I need to talk to you about, and you let me know when you got time. And sometimes I just talk to them right then, and sometimes we'll talk to them throughout, and sometimes we'll have to follow up with them because we didn't land the message correctly, right? And that does happen. So we kind of say, oh, we got this thing, and we couldn't really fit it into their business and their mind, and we have to revisit it. So how do I do it? I just pick up the phone and call them. That's it. And if they're on their platform, I'll do it right there in their inbox. So from the BIZINGA inbox, because we use the platform too, to their inbox, I can see all the messages. It's very entertaining. So I can see them. I can test them. I can see if they're working it. What are we doing here, right? So it's good. Are they assigning that conversation? There's deeper pieces to the inbox than just an inbox.
Right. I think, like you said, previously 10 years ago, SEO, I can help you with SEO. I can help you with your digital ad spend, but there's so much more to help clients actually be able to grow their business and being able to respond, communicate. Like you said, omni-channel is the way the world today. It
is. It's the only way to be productive. And another example is like, I just did this over the weekend, so I didn't even tell you about it, right? So I just had one of my clients is they do lawn care, they do hardscaping, they're landscaping guys, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about getting my lawn cut. I'm going to be out of town for a couple months and blah blah blah. So I call them up. I didn't call them. I was on Facebook. I just hit them on a Facebook message. Let's see what happens, right? Yep. I'm gonna test them. And they got to me, and so yeah. I want to communicate the way I want to communicate. I'm looking at your pictures online right now. Let me check it out. So,
and it seems so obvious when you say it, but it's just so critical, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that's funny is like, no matter what you do, how you shop, how I shop, how we interact with businesses is exactly how everybody interacts with businesses. And it's so easy to forget that. And the basics are the basics. No different than answer your phone. Did you know that 60% of all small business phone calls in America on a daily basis are not answered? Did you know that?
Crazy. I did not. I've never heard that stat. But when I've tried to call local businesses, that's not a surprise.
But think about it. What are we doing?
Right.
So there you go.
Those are the highest intent leads you're ever going to get. Someone pick up the phone and dial in your number.
Yeah, I'll just go walk in that business and say, just be better. I'll help you, but be better, right?
I love it. I love it. So let's transition a little bit to, I feel like it's a competitive space. There's a lot of agencies out there trying to help businesses get better, improve their results. Obviously, it's a really big market, right? The small business world is a really, really big market. So there's room for a lot to work in here. But when you think about, again, when you're growing up your agency, when you're growing and expanding, competing against other agencies, how do you think about how to advise people on this call about how to compete against other agencies? And I really loved your insights on this the other day. So I think
it's important. First of all, I might change it up a little bit, but I think onboarding is so important. You have to just make sure that you take that customer under your wing, right? Take responsibility for it. Do the onboarding, do the setup. We set them all up. I mean, there's a lot to a setup. And we do it and get them all set up, get them on the right foot. We onboard them. We spend some time the first 30 days, and it's random. I'll just my team will just pick up the phone and call you. That's going to happen. They're going to push you a little bit, and they're going to, and it's not on purpose. There's nothing scripted here. This is the craziest thing about it. There's nothing scripted, but they will 100% change your mind. They'll change your mind, right? They're like, hey, look at this. Did you see this? Did you see that? And then you start to go that way. That's probably part of the keep showing up, right? Just always be there, man. Just keep showing up. Be confident, man. I mean, this is the most amazing platform on the planet, right? Just come on, man. Get over it. Don't try to oversell it, number one. and don't overpromise. Just all you have to do is show up, set it up, start to work with people, show them how it works, and it's pretty cool. It works. So don't worry about that, and be the best. I mean, some of those things with the 5-day proof of concept, you can go all the way back to that, or those types of things. I mean, we went out. I mean, there's times, guys, we actually got 100 Google reviews for clients in the first 5 days, and they didn't pay us a dime. And that's pretty good. And they're like, oh my God, what's going on, right? You know, it might have been a car dealership, bigger business, whatever.
Yep.
But we changed their mind. We were confident in it. If you gave me a list today and I just looked at the list, I guarantee I could come within 3 Google reviews that they would get. I've done it so many times, and each business is different categories, things like that. But it's not even about reviews anymore. It's just an ancillary product at this point, in my opinion. And now it's about this other stuff. You know, you wait till you see what else is coming, right? Social media on AI. I think I know that BirdEye's working on that, right? There's all kinds of stuff coming down the pipe. So if you're not doing this now, right now, today, if you don't start doing this right now, what are you going to do when the next wave of stuff comes? And the next wave, you're going to go away. So that's what's going to happen, because your competitor, this is where you're competitive with your competitor. Your competitor will do that. Your competitor will grow with the products within BirdEye, and then you're in a bad spot. Because if I came in and talked to your client today, and we'll use Jason as an example, if Jason does not partake in all the other products, he's just using BirdEye for reviews, that's all it is, and I walk in, you're in trouble. I will crush that deal, because I'm going to talk to him about it. So show up, keep confident, keep telling him about all this cool stuff.
I love that. And I think, we talked about this a lot, I think, already, but a great reputation is absolutely, it's table stakes. You have to be found, you have to be seen. But if you can't respond to them, or they can't connect with you, then you're putting a lot of effort in that's not yielding at the end of the day what they want, right? Which is engagement and customers, right? And I think that's
right.
where all those other features is a very different value conversation.
So, from listings to inbox to all of it, you gotta, there's pieces that don't fit some businesses, and that's okay, right? It's an online business. They don't need listings. Probably right. Whatever. Yep. Move on.
And you can hear it. You can hear it in your voice today, JD, and that's why I love talking to you the other day and today as well. But something that's encapsulated in all these things here is like you're competing with yourself, right? At the end of the day, you get that interaction with a potential customer. They need to, trust. That's the confident and productive and being the best and showing up. They need to trust that you're going to be somebody that's going to be there for them and help them. It's not really about competing with another agency. It's about competing with yourself, right?
100%. I probably said that the other day.
I think you probably say that a lot, I bet. So I think, you definitely run your team that way where, they have to be experts. They have to come in to make consultative recommendations and help their leader, help their clients see things that they don't already know or already see, right? I think that's a big key.
Exactly.
So love that. So I think, as we get up here, I think that the last thing I really want to talk about here is, the keep showing up. The onboarding is important, and then the keep showing up. And you said, you use a lot of different tools with how you engage. I don't know if you want to share those secrets, but you don't necessarily always, like you said, talk to your customers by phone unless there's a specific reason. But once you've onboarded them right away, you have to keep showing up. And, what are some tips for how you kind of stay in touch with and stay top of mind with your customers?
So I'm gonna go a little different than what I told you the other day. So I was just thinking about this over the weekend, and it was, I'll engage with them on social media. I'll like their posts, right? I'll share their posts. I'll hit them up on Facebook, whatever. Do some different things there. But 100% use all the tools. And another thing that I love to do, one of my favorite things to do is to create a meme, because I just, for some reason, one day got this wild, crazy idea that I'm gonna start doing memes. I don't know where that came from. And so now I send them memes, right? I'll send them a meme, and it's like maybe I'm waiting for some data from them. Maybe I'm waiting for a spreadsheet from them or something like that. And I'll send them something, and it's funny as I'll get out, man, be like, hey, did you forget about me or whatever? And it's like, right. I'll put a spreadsheet in there or something, big sad face or something. And they're like, oh, dude, most of the time they go, that was pretty funny.
Right.
And
pleasant persistence.
Yeah, man, you just be so persistent that it's like this. If you're an athlete, my daughter's an athlete. If you're an athlete, probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard a coach tell an athlete was, work so hard, be so good that the coach cannot not put you in. Yeah. So be that good that business can't say no.
That's awesome. I think we'll leave it on that. Thank you, JD, so much for being here. Honestly, we really appreciate you being open and talking to our audience and our customers today. This has been a great opportunity. And for those who joined us, please join the open office hours we have at the end of the sessions today if you want to learn more or hear more. But again, JD, thank you so much for being here and for helping out our customers. Thank you.
You bet.